when their program folded in 2015. He had to have somewhere to go and wanted to continue his baseball career. So Martin decided, reached out to Coach Maloney, and he decided to commit to Ball State. And with how Ball State's pitching rotation needed another arm, especially a left-handed arm, it worked out perfectly, and Martin joined Ball State and another Mid-American Conference school set to end their program in baseball. Buffalo, after this year, they announced on April 3rd that Buffalo will no longer have a baseball program. So 3 years, 2 different teams inside the MAC, cutting the program. And that hits home with somebody like Kevin Martin trying to find a home to play.
Yeah, Kevin Martin has made a huge impact ever since he's transferred over to Ball State. And that was just a perfect find for Kevin Martin, or perfect find for Kevin Martin coming to Ball State, but also a perfect find for Rich Maloney, getting an extra left-hander in the to come out of the bullpen and develop into a starter as well. I mean, he's just made a huge impact for this Ball State team and done nothing short of been spectacular here today.
Not too often you could go out and find basically a free agent, quote unquote, in college that's a tall left-handed pitcher, has a sweeping curveball, that can get anybody out, left or right-handed batters.
Yeah, I wonder if Ball State will reach out to Buffalo and try to snag another big lefty to transfer here from Buffalo after their season is over.
That's a tough situation for Buffalo as McGinnis puts muscle into it, slings it to right field, and bases are now loaded here in the top half of the 7th against Martin, who jumps up and down. 3 straight base runners after a ground out to Scott. Sunken, Schneider, and now McGinnis all have reached base safely as the infielders come together, but a nice swing by McGinnis.
Yeah, a good swing there by McGinnis, getting the head of the bat down to the low pitch and just drilling it out into right field. You see a good job there by Bowling Green, and see if they can take advantage of having the bases loaded.
It'll signal the end of the day for Kevin Martin as head coach Maloney claps his hands together, extends his hand, takes the ball from Big Kev, as they call him here at Ball State. The crowd happy with his Easter weekend performance in game 1 of a doubleheader here today. Leads the way for Evan Corson, who takes the mound.
A standing ovation from the crowd and a tunnel of Ball State players there to greet him in the dugout. Just a fantastic performance here today by Martin.
Martin, a strong day, 6 1/3 pitched, 3 hits allowed, 6 walks, and 1 earned run coming back in that top of the 1st inning.
In his 2 starts this year, Evan Corson, has thrown 17 1/3 innings pitched this year and has a 6.2 ERA, but that doesn't equate to how good he's been out of the bullpen for this Cardinals team, and even starting a couple games, as I mentioned.
So Corson enters. He started a lot of non-conference games. Another tall lefty for head coach Maloney. 0-1 on the season, an ERA above 6, but has only thrown 17 innings. But Quentin, going back to the Buffalo situation with Kevin Martin and his contacts with Akron, that program folding, and then Buffalo having a similar situation happen to them. It wasn't a situation for Buffalo where they thought it was going to happen. The baseball program was under the impression that next year wasn't going to change, that everything was going to be okay. And Coach Ron Torgalowski was told early the morning, and then had to turn around and tell his team at 7:45, 15 minutes before the players were told, that the Buffalo baseball program was going to be no longer. And that indication wasn't given to the coaching staff of Buffalo until the moment it was. And the coach for Buffalo, Ron Torgalowski, had to go and tell his players. And now it's a search for these different Buffalo players to try and go out, reach out to schools and the coaching staff of each team for Buffalo and other schools that have had to fold their programs. Do reach out to their teams and try and help those players find a home.
Hopefully for all those players coming out of Buffalo, hopefully they all find good matches, as Martin has found here at Ball State. And I hope the best for those players. It's just sad to see a successful school like Buffalo have to lose their baseball program, as we know baseball has such an impact on this country and even on those fans out there in Buffalo.
Buffalo did cut its program in 1987 until 2000, when it picked it right back up. The team started in 1949, so a long history for Buffalo, as you mentioned, Quentin, but now cutting it again for the 2nd time. So it's Evan Corson for Ball State against Doherty. A pair of strikeouts and a walk up to this point. Bowling Green trails by 15 runs, but a little bit of action. They have bases loaded here in the top of the 7th.
Ball State's defense pitching in the middle a little bit here, hoping to get a double play from the middle infielders.
2-1 count on Doherty. This time a fastball, and Corson falls behind 3-1. Pitch, Doherty draws a bases loaded walk in just the 2nd run today. That earned run is charged to Kevin Martin. 16-2 Ball State lead. Let's send it down to John.
Guys, it looks like there's some more action going down in the bullpen. Pitching coach Dustin Glant coming in to check on David Current, who's warming up in the bullpen, signaling to hurry up. Looks like some more action coming down in the Ball State bullpen.
David Curran, a senior, loosening up for Ball State. And Dustin Glant, what a find of a pitching coach for Ball State to bring in this season. Has had so much experience going back and forth. As a strike is in there to Randy Ryder, the number 4 batter for Bowling Green. Glant was on this roster for Ball State as a coach back in 2013. He was as recently a head coach at Anderson last year, but decided to come back full-time staffer as the pitching coach.
Yeah, he's been very good as a pitching coach here at Ball State, just preaching command to his guys as they struggled a little bit with that in the past. And this year, you've seen them throw a lot of strikes and be successful. And Glant has done a great job for this pitching staff at Ball State.
Glant has had experience drafted in the 7th round in the 2003 draft by the Diamondbacks. Reached AAA, but then decided to hang up the cleats, join the coaching ranks, and so far helping a Ball State team lower that ERA throughout the course of the season and help them get on this 5-game winning streak.
I wonder if Glant has anything to do with Evan Corson's curveball. That is filthy. I watch it from up here in the booth, and that thing just moves all the way across the zone. I expect him to go to it here with 2 strikes and hope he can get a strikeout.
Big looping curveball from Corson against Ryder. Ryder's 0 for 2, did have a walk in the 1st. Instead, it's a fastball, pummeled foul. Quentin Ryder struggled in this series, 0 for 6 combining today and yesterday after a 5-for-5 game against Kent State earlier this week.
Yeah, he was seeing the ball really well coming into the series, but just has not had any success against this Ball State pitching staff. I think that has in part to do with Glant and his pitch calling against Ryder.
Corson with the 0-2 pitch. Ryder a bouncing ball to second. Kennedy dives, it rolls in for a base knock, and Ryder picks up 2 runs batted in on the single. So 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Bowling Green's offense with some life.
Good job there by Ryder, just putting the ball in play, hitting the ball hard, going the other way with it. And it looked as if Kennedy got a little caught in between going back to second base and just froze a little bit there before the ball. Was unable to come up with it on the diving attempt, and a good job there by Ryder.
Runner remains in scoring position for Basilega. Drove in Bowling Green's first run of the game back in the 1st with the sacrifice fly. He swings and comes up empty on the first pitch.
A big hack there by Basilega, just looking to drive the baseball here, and as we've seen from Sean Kennedy, just let the wind do the work.
No home runs for Basilega in this series. Team high 4 on the season. Basilega falls behind, 2 strikes on him.
Although these big hitters for Bowling Green in the middle of the lineup kind of expect to see curveballs in this situation. I'm still surprised that Corson for Ball State hasn't gone to one of those in a strikeout situation yet.
Basalega chases. Corson gets him swinging.
The right fielder, number 1, G. Williams.
Basalega just unable to catch up with that that heater there from Corson.
It's RJ Williams back in for his second at bat. Lefty on lefty matchup, takes a strike. Williams walked into 6th in his first plate appearance. This one gets away. And a Bowling Green run on the pass ball. In is Doherty, and 4 runs here in the top of the 7th for Bowling Green.
I'm assuming they'll call that a wild pitch there by Corson. Just a tough block behind the plate on a pitch like that, especially a curveball breaking away from you. Not much a catcher can do in that situation.
So now just a runner at second for Bowling Green. Four of the 5 runs charged to Kevin Martin, just 1 earned run against Corson. Doherty's scoring was the first given up by the reliever. Williams a flare into shallow center, and Kennedy there from second puts away Williams. But the biggest inning today for Bowling Green brings in 4 runs, 3 hits, and a couple of walks. Ball State up by 11. It's stretch time in Muncie. Eleven runs separate Bowling Green and Ball State here on Easter weekend. First game of a doubleheader here on ESPN3 from Muncie. It's been the hot hitting of the seniors today, leading the way for Ball State's offense, including Sean Kennedy. 3 home runs off the bat of the second baseman. Caleb Staten has added a home run as well. Griffin Alecki put in a home run, not a senior, but 5 home runs on the board for Ball State have led to 16 runs. But taking a look at how these seniors have played all season long, it's been Matt Eppers, Sean Kennedy, Caleb Staten, played so well. Eppers' average after this weekend could climb up to around the 330 mark. 3 hits yesterday, 4 triples, second in the Mid-American Conference. Kennedy's home runs, now 7 on the season.
Yeah, their senior sluggers have just been huge for this offense, especially over this past win streak, and especially today, in fact. Their seniors have just provided a huge spark for the offense and have brought confidence into the rest of the lineup. I expect big things out of the seniors moving forward, as they don't want their last season to end without a MAC championship.
And unless head coach Maloney takes any changes, we'll see 3 of the seniors, Maloney, Staten, Kennedy, bat 2, 3, and 4 in this order after Roman Bison, the redshirt sophomore, hits. Damon Egnor remains on the mound for Bowling Green. 3rd pitcher for the Falcons today. Bice's reached base every single time except for once. A sacrifice bunt in the 4th. A walk, single, bunt, and reached on an error. as he takes this 1-1 pitch deep to right field. Williams back on the run at the track near the wall and makes the diving catch in the warning track in right center field. Bicep tips his cap to him. What a play from Williams.
R.J. Williams, you think that that's why they put him in the game out there? Roman Bicep does a great job here staying inside on that pitch and driving it out into right center, but R.J. Williams is able to come up with an incredible catch there. Even though it looked as if he bobbled it, the ball bounced right into his bare hand, and he was able to come up with a great catch.
Unbelievable catch by Williams to hold on to it. In his glove, popped out when his elbow hit the ground, and then right back to his arm to set away Bicep. First out in the bottom of the 7th. How about that? Now it's Maloney at the plate, who's reached the last 2 times. A walk and a single, has an RBI today. And as many runs, Quentin, as Ball State's put up today, only 5 players have an RBI, mostly because Staten and Kennedy are hogging all the runs batted in.
Yeah, if you have 12 RBIs or between the 2 guys, not many other guys are going to get opportunities to get those RBIs, and when they're coming up and clearing the bases with big swings, that just doesn't open up the opportunities for other guys. But I don't think Coach Maloney will complain where the RBIs come from as long as they're getting them.
It's a big confidence booster for this 3 and 4 spot in the order, as if they needed it already coming into this game, but those 2 have dominated today's game.
Big aggressive hack there on the 3-1 pitch by Maloney. Just ahead of it, and the ball caroms off the end of his bat. But I think if he would have gotten the barrel of the bat to that baseball, that could have gone a long ways with that powerful swing that he has.
Maloney did have an RBI single in the 5th to extend his team-leading RBI total up to 25. Ball State well on its way today, Quentin, to reaching 6 straight victories, which would be the longest in the MAC at the current time. Now Maloney draws a 1-out walk.
First baseman number 34.
Caleb Staten stepping into the batter's box. As we've mentioned before, we've seen just big production out of his bat today, and you see the fans in the crowd and all of his teammates getting into his walk-up song once again. We'll see if that provides some momentum heading into this at-bat. Maybe another big swing out of him.
All 4 plate appearances, quality appearances. Started things off with an RBI single, a home run, sacrifice fly, a walk in the 5th. 5th plate appearance today for Staten. Goshen, Indiana native in his senior season has started to swing it well as conference play hits the heart of the year going into the end of this season, and then the MAC tournament, especially where you want to be hot going into that tournament.
Yeah, the time of the year is right now for when hitters want to start hitting that hot streak, and we've seen that from Ball State up and down the lineup. But it all starts with Staten in that 3 hole, just getting the middle of the lineup going and providing a spark for their lineup.
Another rip off the bat of Staten, just foul.
That ball was crushed by Staten down the line.
Laser shot.
You see here the inside pitch to Staten, able to turn on it and drill it right down the line. And just foul. A good call there by the umpire.
Nearly hit the white turf. Staten almost had his 3rd hit today. Could have been extra bases, but instead it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
A time like that is where you want to, as Staten drives the ball into center field, another nice rip. But a time like that is when you look for the grass and see if you can have some chalk come up as the ball hits the line in right field.
Why not another base hit for Caleb Staten?
Similar to the swing we saw earlier from him, just right on the line, up the middle, similar to his home run swing, as I mentioned.
That's the reason they call him Big Smooth, Quentin. A smooth swing just like that after a foul ball, stays within it, drives it up the middle for a hit.
Yeah, another quality at bat, as you mentioned. He's just doing great things in the third hole, and now we get to see Sean Kennedy again with more runners on base.
Well, they came into today 4 home runs, has 3 so far. Just in this game alone, takes a strike.
I expect him to see a lot of that, not getting another fastball in this at bat, as we've seen what he's done with fastballs.
Not a lot of off-speed pitches today, which is shocking just because of the level of production he's put up the last several weeks. A 1 pitch lifted to right center field. Williams and Wilson back, but it bounces off the fence, rolls around into center field, and Kennedy takes a hard turn around second into third, a head first slide, and 2 RBIs on the triple. Sean Kennedy. Extra base hits all the way around. He has 5 extra base hits and is now a single shy of the cycle.
A single shy of the cycle. How many times do you get to say that about a guy? 3 home runs as well. You see the huge smile on his face there, just looking down at his hands like, what the heck am I doing? Inside pitch there, he's able to just, although he gets jammed a little bit, he has such strong hands to hit the ball still out into right center and just unable to come up with it. And the ball bounces all the way to the fence for a triple.
Well, stating it's a career day would be an understatement for Kennedy today. 5 extra base hits, 9 runs batted in of the 18 Ball State has put on the board today. That's a career high. He has half the runs batted in today on the scoreboard.
Yeah, a stat like that, like you say a guy has half the runs batted in, that means nothing until you look at the scoreboard and see they have 18 runs this game, and half those are coming off of 1 bat. That's incredible.
Seth Fried is out of the game. It's Kirkpatrick taking his first hacks of the game. He falls into a 1-1 count. Kirkpatrick from Pendleton, Indiana, just down the street here from Muncie. Started off his career at Vincennes University. Batted .280 in his 2 seasons there. Decided to transfer, come back closer to home, and started several games at shortstop this year, Quentin, for Ball State. And Ball State finding a different rotation, moving Seth Fried over to short.
Yeah, he's looked well when he's played for the Cardinals, but Seth Fried has just been so hot at the plate lately that he's won that spot over at shortstop. Even though Kirkpatrick has looked good this season.
Kirkpatrick goes down swinging in his first plate appearance today. And the 5th spot in the order has put together an 0 for 5 performance, a couple of strikeouts. And that brings up Trent Tyson.
That designated hitter number 15, Trent Tyson.
Tyson has some power, and with the wind just continuing to whip straightaway center field. We've seen Tyson have some power throughout the course of his career. Last year as a freshman, belted a bases clearing triple down in Savannah. Non-conference action in some tournaments. Had a chance to play last year, and useful and strong at bats.
Tough pitch there for Tyson. Can't do anything with that pitch with the catcher set up outside already, but the pitcher hits the glove, and so the umpire's going to give him that call 9 times out of 10.
Tyson from Saline, Michigan pops it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Sean Kennedy with his 9 runs batted in today. 2 more here in this bottom of the 7th. He has 1 run batted in from tying the school record of RBIs in a single game. That was put by Jason Meyer. He had 10 versus Valparaiso in 1997, which also came in April. And a base knock for Trent Tyson to bring in Kennedy. Tyson joins the hit parade. Hard turnaround first, and is into second with the double.
A nice swing there by Tyson, going the other way with it. They gave him a curveball on the outer half, and he was able to just take it down the left field line and use his power the other way and get a double out of it.
So it's Eric Bolton now. He's 0 for 1. He had a pinch hit at bat in the 6th, bounce out to shortstop. Ball State 19 runs. Looking at the scoreboard, each inning has had at least 3 runs when they've scored. The 2 scoreless innings, the 2nd and the 6th.
And Coach Schmitz talked to us about how whenever Bowling Green scores, it seems this series that Ball State has answered, and none short of that here in this game.
Absolutely. Bowling Green put that first run on the board on that sacrifice fly. And it was Sean Kennedy, Caleb Staten, like we've mentioned so many times before, putting a quick end to Bowling Green's lead. Now Coach Schmitz wants an explanation as if that hit Bolton or not. Ball and a strike count as it stands.
We'll see here if it hit his foot or not. It may have grazed his calf there. Unable to tell from this angle. Yeah, that's a call you'll never really know. That's up to the umpire out at second base to see that.
Look for the reaction of Bolton.
Right. And he did. He winced a little bit in pain looking down at his foot. So I expected that ball to graze his calf.
Egnor hits the corner, 2-2.
Nice pitch there right on the bottom half of the zone and on the outside corner as well. Tough pitch to hit there, but a good pitcher's pitch.
Payoff pitch from Egnor, and it pelts Bolton with 2 down.
Pitch just got a little bit away of Egnor there and nicked Bolton right in the shoulder.
So Egnor, the 3rd pitcher Bowling Green's used today. Chase Antle started, went just an inning and a 1/3, struggled against his Ball State offense. And then Nathan Lohmeyer came in. The lefty had, coming into today, one of the best ERAs in the Mid-American Conference, best on this Bowling Green team. But then Ball State's offense started to put things together. Lohmeyer knocked out of the game, and Egnor, the 3rd pitcher, he's allowed several runs here today as Anthony Mazzato sees his first at-bat today, takes a strike. Mazzato enters for Eppers. Lifts to 0-1. In the infield, the entire infield collapses near the mound and it drops down. An infield single. For Mazzato, that's his first career hit with Ball State, so not a bad first career hit.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Probably not his ideal way of getting his first hit, but he'll take a hit in any fashion. That ball right there on a pop-up like that, it's not a ball that you want your pitcher fielding. So, as you saw there, Egnor got right out of the way and let his position players do the work, but none of them were able to get there and catch the baseball.
Almost looked like that one was going to start in foul territory behind the plate and then rolled and bounced onto the mound, and Coach Schmitz wants to make the change. 4th pitcher coming up for Bowling Green here today. Wes Rickenberg, the Napoleon, Ohio native. Junior comes in, relieves Egnor, who's done 3 earned runs in this inning. 2 of those on a 2 RBI triple by Sean Kennedy, who is just a single shy of the cycle. 2 more runners on the board, Bolton and Mazzato.
Wes Rickenberg here out of Napoleon, Ohio, 6'4", and he's got a weird delivery there. See him bring down his arm slot to below, in between a side armor and below like a three-quarters arm slot, but he's just got a quick, fast motion towards home plate, and that's a weird motion to see in the hitter's eye.
Tricky motion to hit too.
Right.
Never easy to hit the 3/4 slots, the quarter slots, or the sidearm submarine. And Rickenberg has a chance here to end the bleeding here in the bottom half of the 7th. Let's send it down to John.
Guys, Sean Kennedy is having a phenomenal day today. He has 3 home runs, a triple, a double, and I talked to his dad earlier today, and I was asking him, has he ever had a game like this before? Not only has he never hit 3 home runs before, but his dad said that he has never seen Sean play at this level before. All eyes will be on Sean Kennedy, his next at bat, as he is just a single away from the cycle.
And John, he may get a chance to hit one more time with this Ball State order cycling through. We stand with the number 9 hitter, Joe Gunn, in the batter's box, and if Ball State can hit a couple of more in the bottom half of this inning or even the bottom of the 8th, Kennedy hitting 4 more spots after Gunn. So
yeah, and with him with the chance to go for the cycle there, I expect Rich Maloney to leave him in the game and just see if he can do it, see if they can have some fun, and just let Sean Kennedy go out with a bang here in this game. So I expect him to stay in the game, although they've removed plenty of their other players.
Gunn with the bases loaded, struck out in his pinch hit at bat in the 6th. Chance to put potentially 20 runs on the board, Quentin.
20 runs is an incredible stat for baseball. It's not something you see every day at the ballpark. And a base hit here by Gunn would definitely do that.
Gunn bounces one to short. Glansman there in the hole. Quick throw to first. And it's late. Gunn, an infield single, drives in a run, and Ball State 20 runs on the scoreboard.
Nice job there by Gunn, going the other way with it. John Gordon, our 3rd analyst, talked when he was up here about Joe Gunn's ability to take the ball the other way, and you see it there. Just although he didn't get much power to it, the ability to take the ball into the gap between short and third and put Glansman in a tough spot to make a play.
So 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Quentin, Ball State has batted around for the 2nd time here today in one inning itself. Back to Bisa, who lined out to begin this inning. That's even more impressive when a player in the leadoff spot is out, but then Ball State goes on a run. And the only other out today, a Kirkpatrick strikeout. So the leadoff guy, the 5th guy in the order, in between, Ball State continuing to extend its lead.
It shows the production in this lineup that it has from top to bottom. Anybody can get the job done at any time for Rich Maloney, and we've seen that all day today with their 20 runs on 17 hits.
Bisa pulls ahead, 2 balls, no strikes.
One thing that tends to be a problem for Rickenberg, but not just Rickenberg, it tends to be a problem for all guys who throw with that sidearm delivery, is their command. Rickenberg with 7 walks on the year with only 4 strikeouts, so command is definitely an issue for him.
Bisa taking a big cut. Trying to avenge the lineout he had in right field with R.J. Williams, robbing him of extra bases on the diving catch. That came at the 1st out of the inning.
With the wind blowing like it is and Bisa hitting the ball like it is, you had the outfielders back on the warning track, and you see there the ball just falls in for Bisa, and Bowling Green's unable to come up with it, scoring 2 for Ball State.
Mazzato had stopped at 3rd but decided to take off to home when Bowling Green couldn't come up with it. So 2 runs come in on the Bisa single. Bisa slaps his helmet down at first base. He wanted more than that with the bases loaded. And now 6 Cardinals have scored here in the bottom of the 7th. What an impressive performance. 18 hits, 22 runs.
This Ball State offense just continues to explode on all assets.
So Maloney's day is done. It's Zach Milam pinch hitting. Milam batting .250 has started in 6 games and rips the first pitch right off the glove of Hickenberg, the pitcher. Knocks it down, throws it to first, and that ends the inning. Ball State leaves 2 runners on, but it was the big triple by Sean Kennedy in the inning to get him going. 5 extra base hits for Kennedy on the day. And Ball State 22 runs on the board here today in Muncie.
All right, fans, today's fan of the game is Derek Bright. Congratulations, Derek Bright. Please see a marketing staff member up in the press box on the third base side to pick up your prize. Again, today's fan of the game, Derek Bright.
Ball State 22 runs on the board today, their biggest offensive outburst on the season. Before today, 18 runs was the highest it scored against Western Michigan on April 9th. But today they've surpassed that with 22 runs, provided by 6 runs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ball State a lot of crooked numbers. And Sean Kennedy's dad has come to many games here at Ball State while Sean's played, and Sean putting on a career performance. 9 runs batted in, 3 home runs, double and a triple, single shy of the cycle. Many of his teammates have had such an impressive game as well here today.
Kennedy stays in the game out there at second base, and we'll get to see his bat in the bottom half of this lineup in hopes for him to get a cycle.
Minoric leads off against Corson, who's back in. Entered in relief of Kevin Marnin in the top of the 7th. 4 of those 5 runs charged to Marnin, just 1 against Corson. Minoric a fly out to center field. Minoric a bouncing ball to short. Kirkpatrick there on the 2-hop. Quick flip to first, and Minoric is 0 for 2.
Kirkpatrick there, nice play, getting his hands extended and getting the ball before it takes that second bounce. The ball was hit hard by Minoric, but good play overall by Kirkpatrick there, and good throw across the diamond to first base.
Catcher Scott in the batter's box for Bowling Green. Scott is 1 for 3, had a single and a strikeout before grounding out in his last at-bat. Bowling Green's only offenses have come in the first inning on a sacrifice fly by Greg Basilega, and then 4 runs in the top of the 7th before Ball State puts 6 more on. A 17-run differential.
Corson throwing hard here, just looks to be overthrowing a little bit and not getting on top of his fastball as much as he would like, leaving those pitches up in the zone a bit.
Corson with the 2-1 pitch. Scott puts a charge into it, lifts it down the first baseline. Bacon, who just entered, Loses it with the wind. It drops down in foul territory. Now Scott with the 2-2 count gets another shot.
We've seen many times today the mix of sun and wind just playing a factor in all parts of the field, and Maverick there unable to come up with it.
Scott, a graduate of Clinton Central Senior High School in Kirkland, Indiana, originally committed to Coastal Carolina, who just won the NCAA championship game last year. 2-2 is upstairs from Corson. And Ball State went down, played Coastal Carolina, lost just 1-0 in a pitcher's duel. Proved that Ball State could play against some of the best competition in the country. That comes after beating number 22 Maryland in the season opener.
Yeah, Ball State has shown this year that they can play against anyone, and last year also, beating LSU last year, beating Maryland this year, they've shown that although they come from the MAC, they can play with anybody in this country.
Scott pops out. It's now Sunken, the number 9 batter and left fielder. 2 quick outs by Corson.
The center fielder, number 24, Ty Sunken.
So Scott had originally committed to Coastal Carolina, then decided to come to Bowling Green. Seen a lot of playing time. Sunken trying to find his first hit. A couple of ground outs and a walk. Check swing, fouls it off. From Wauseon, Ohio, 5'11" redshirt sophomore. Corson ahead, 0-2, hits the outside corner. And a 1-2-3, top of the 8th for Evan Corson. Ball State a 17-run lead as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Offensive plenty here in Muncie.
Friday is Chirp Chirp Friday. Be sure to wear your Cardinal One on Fridays. Take a photo and post it to social media using hashtag Chirp Chirp Friday. Prizes and spread school spirit.
Well, Chuck the Cardinal for Ball State has brought his offensive bat today with the rest of the Ball State players. 22 runs, 18 hits. For Ball State, the pitching has been strong as well. 5 hits allowed and only 5 Bowling Green runs. Maverick Bacon starts off. Bats for Caleb Staten. And Sean Kennedy is on deck, so he does have a chance to go for the cycle. He would need a single, and Kennedy is one of the lone starters remaining in this game. They go to work against Rickenberg. First pitch strike to Bacon.
Maverick Bacon, how much better of a name could you get there?
That's a baseball name.
It's a baseball swing there too. A nice smooth swing coming from the lefty. Rickenberg, I noticed when he throws off-speed pitches, it looks as if he drops his arm a little bit lower. And as a hitter, you tend to notice those things when you're in the batter's box, and you can prepare as it's coming.
Bacon this year has started a couple of games at first. 4 starts, 11 appearances. Moved all around the field. Last year, a lot of second base opportunities. Now at first, backing up Caleb Staten when either Staten DHs or catches. Rolling to second base. Schneider there, throws out Bacon. So now we get to see if Sean Kennedy can complete this cycle here in Muncie.
The second baseman, number 10, Sean Kennedy.
Single away.
Here, if you're Kennedy, would you rather hit another home run or would you rather have the cycle?
Well, it's been a career day in the home run department with 3. Cycle sounds pretty appealing.
I agree. Go for the cycle. Nobody's on base. You're not going to pad your RBI stats. I would say go for the single and take the cycle.
Might be the most pressure Kennedy's felt all day is to try and complete the cycle with a single. 1 ball and a strike. Kennedy has 17 total bases today, including the 3 home runs, the triple, the double. 1-1 is inside. The major league record is 19. So if Sean Kennedy hits anything more than a single, he could either tie or take a record that, well, he can't compete with because he's in college, but he's gonna have to stick with 18, and it's not a single hit by pitch.
That's too bad there. Unable to get his opportunity to complete the cycle, but I'd say 5 for 5 with 5 extra base hits is a good day at the ballpark.
Not a bad day at all.
As he grins over there at first base towards the dugout. I'd assume he's a little frustrated that he didn't get the chance to swing the bat again, but nothing you can do about getting plunked.
That's an opportunity you don't get to see every day. Going for a cycle. You mentioned it, Quentin. The easiest one, presumably a single. Chance taken away out of his hands.
The way he's been seeing the ball, though, I don't know if that would be the easiest one.
Chance for Kirkpatrick, who's 0 for 1. Struck out in a pinch hit at bat in the 7th. Slow roller up the middle. Schneider to Minorik. Back to first. Fielder's choice. Kirkpatrick beats the throw back. Ball State has used 16 different position players in this game alone after all the switches that they've made. Trent Tyson, after a double and an RBI in the 7th, comes up to bat.
Tyson looked to be a little mad at himself that he didn't attack that first pitch fastball there. He was able to follow it off, but looked as if he wanted to drive that baseball gap to gap there.
Tyson works ahead, 2 balls, 1 strike. Rickenberg's best appearance this season came against Army West Point. 2 innings, didn't allow an earned run. 2014 graduate of Napoleon High School back in Ohio. Paints the corner to push it full against Tyson. Tyson rips it to right center field. Kirkpatrick takes a hard turn around second. Tyson into second, round second, heading to third. No throw in and an RBI triple by Trent Tyson. 2 extra base hits for him since entering the game.
He's hit the ball really well since coming into the game. There he got a low pitch and just was able to get his hands extended and drive it over the into the right center gap. Got a little help from the turf on a ball like that, where the ball bounces. far and long and off the turf, and just a great job there by Tyson. See that ball just over the head of the second baseman, but it rolls all the way to the wall perfectly between right field and center field.
Eric Bolton at the plate takes a strike. 19 hits on the board for Ball State today. Bolton is 0 for 1, a ground out, a hit by pitch in his 2 plate appearances. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. Minoric picks, throws, and ends the bottom half of the 8th inning. Ball State scores 1 more run, and after 8 frames, a 23-5 lead. Ball State 3 outs away from a 2-0 start in the series against Bowling Green. Three outs for Ball State to put away Bowling Green and extend its winning streak to 6 games. They keep Evan Corson in the baseball game. He entered in the top of the 7th inning. Allowed 1 earned run. Fans enjoying the scenery here today. Enjoying the scoreboard if you're a Ball State fan. 18 runs between these 2 teams. Hopefully nobody's getting too sunburned out there, Quentin.
Yeah, I mean, the sun is behind the clouds right now, but it's been a sunny day and just a beautiful day out here. Players are enjoying it. The Ball State fans, I'm sure, are enjoying it and enjoying the 18-run lead that they have here right now.
3 outs away from taking another series. Starts off with Schneider, who sees his second at-bat. Came in for Wilson and walked. Did come around to score in that 4-run 7th.
We talked earlier, but a big thing for Ball State this series has been they haven't used many pitchers. They've only used 4 on the series so far, and coming into a doubleheader like today, the fact that you only have to use 2 pitchers in game 1, that's huge for saving that rotation for later in the second game.
Especially if you get to keep a guy like John Baker, who's been so impressive out of the Ball State bullpen, to keep him in for a game 3 and have that bullpen really feeling good going into that final game.
Yeah, because you never know when Bowling Green's bats are going to come alive, and you'll never know when you'll need to go to the bullpen early, and that could happen in game 2 today. And to have his arm out of the bullpen and many others that they can bring in, that just helps out Coach Maloney.
Schneider, a hopper to third base, picked up by Milam. 5-3 put out to start off the 9th.
Good pitch there by Corson, getting it in on the hands and getting them to roll over that ball to third base over with Milam over there.
Milam playing third. That's where Sean Kennedy called home for the longest time. Until this year played short. Second base has moved around the infield as McGinnis takes a cut, misses on the first swing.
Talked so much about Kennedy's bat. He's also been consistent in the field, and he's got great range out there at second base. I think that has part to do with him transitioning from third to second. Is the reason for that could have been his incredible range that he has.
Not many balls get past him at second base or anywhere he's playing on the field. And he's been able to mentor some of these young players like Zach Milam. He's taken Milam under his wing And Milam's made some of those flashy plays, even in practice, that Sean Kennedy makes routinely. It's almost like Manny Machado. You get it at third, you pick it and throw over to first. And Kennedy did say a couple days ago that Machado is his favorite player. And there's a lot of times he looks like Machado.
Yeah, he does look like Machado, and Machado is a guy to look up to, as he is one of the MLB's best.
McGinnis is down on strikes. Beautiful pitch from Corson.
Yeah, right there at the letters, gave him the high fastball and just
Cam Doherty.
couldn't do anything with it. A nice pitch by Corson, straight at the numbers.
Cam Doherty stands between Ball State and a victory today.
A good job here this inning by Corson, just working ahead of hitters, getting the job done and getting the Cardinals back in the dugout, and finishing off this game for the Cardinals.
Working quickly and efficiently. One strike away. And Corson puts it away. Doherty down on strikes, and Corson 2 strikeouts. 10 afternoon in game 1 of the doubleheader. We've still got 9 more to play, but Ball State takes the first game 23-5 here in Muncie, Indiana. Start of the Easter weekend.
Today, the second game of today's doubleheader will begin in approximately 30 minutes, so stick around.
Ball State brought the bats here today, a 23-5 victory in the first game of a doubleheader in Muncie, Indiana to kick off Easter weekend. It was the bats led by the senior Sean Kennedy, who finished up 5 for 5 today, including 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in for the senior star infielder for Ball State. 19 hits, and the pitching came through as well with Kevin Martin.
Yeah, Kevin Martin was huge today. He pitched very well for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals started off early, hitting the ball hard. Caleb Staten was able to drive the ball and bring in a couple guys on this hit. And just after Staten brought in those guys, the offense never looked back, as you see Sean Kennedy with his first of 3 home runs here.
A couple of nice defensive plays for Ball State. 4-6-3 rolled up. 3 double plays for Ball State on the defensive end here today. And then Staten gets in on the action. His first home run of the season, pelts one to deep center field.
Yeah, Staten was just huge, driving the ball up the middle and throwing his back hip straight at the baseball. The wind Sean Kennedy didn't need the wind that was roaring today, as he was hitting the ball out of the ballpark no matter what and driving it to all parts of the field. 3 home runs to left and a triple to right center. He ended with 9 RBIs and was huge for this Cardinals team.
Jake Wilson nearly had a beat on it there, but Kennedy continued to have a strong day. Capped it off with this 2 RBI triple. Had a chance for the cycle at the end of the game, but was hit by a pitch. 9 runs batted in, 18 total bases for Sean Kennedy on the impressive afternoon. A 23-5 victory. Let's send it down to John Gordon.
Here with Coach Malone and Sean Kennedy, who went 5 for 5 today. Coach, we'll start with you. 23 runs for Ball State today. What'd you notice from your hitters?
Yeah, well, they just were in the zone, man. And boy, what a game Sean had. Fantastic, a game for the ages. Real happy for him as one of our seniors and one of our leaders. Real proud of him, proud of the guys. We just keep battling and fighting, and we got Chuck back here. Chuck's on his perch where he deserves to be.
Sean's 3. Whenever he went for his 3rd home run and that ball went over the fence, what was going through your mind?
What a game, what a game, what a memory. So real happy for him.
We'll go with Sean. Sean, here's your 3 home run balls. I'll give these today.
I mean, this is a moment you dream of as a kid. I mean, you never really think it can happen, actually, and then when it does, it's unbelievable. It's surreal.
And 5 for 5, and you weren't able to get the cycle, but on that last at bat, what was going through your mind?
You know, I was just trying. We've been working all week to stay up center in the field and work through the tunnel. So I was really just trying to hit the ball back up the middle. It really didn't occur to me that I was going for the cycle or anything like that until I got back in the dugout and someone had said something about that. So, I mean, it sucks that I didn't get it, but in the end, we got the win, and that's all that matters.
On Kennedy, incredible performance. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, John.
That was Sean Kennedy and Rich Maloney for this post-game interview. Mick, back to you.
Ball State a 23-5 victory against Bowling Green in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Ball State has secured the series win, but Game 3, Ball State looks for the sweep coming up here soon in Muncie. Special thanks to our producer J.C. Obringer and our director Corey Stace. For analyst Quentin Zilke and reporter John Gordon, I'm Mick Tidrow saying so long from Muncie, Indiana, where the final score today in Game 1 is 23-5. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks, log on to Watch ESPN. This has been a presentation of ESPN.